Have you ever felt like you're on top of the world, only to crash into the depths of despair, days or even hours later? Now imagine feeling invincible, full of energy and ideas, only for you to wake up the next morning trapped in a fog of exhaustion and hopelessness. Now, this is the daily reality for people living with bipolar disorder, which is a mental health condition that turns life into an unpredictable roller coaster of emotions. Now, today I'm going to tell you a story through the journey of Juma, a young man navigating the highs and lows of bipolar disorder. And along the way, we will discover and uncover valuable lessons on how to manage this condition. Now, in the heart of an African village, where the sun rises over golden fields and children laugh as they play, there lived a young man named Juma. He was known for his bright smile, his loud laughter, and his endless energy. But beneath his cheerful face, Juma carried a storm, one that few could see, one he didn't even understand. Now, this is his story. Juma was the kind of person everyone wanted to be around. His energy was always contagious. When he spoke, his words poured out like a rushing river. His ideas were grand, his plans endless. One day, he wanted to start a big business selling fabrics. The next, he talked about traveling across the continent to become famous. He barely slept, but he didn't feel tired. "I don't need rest," he would say. "I have too much to do, too much to achieve." At first, the villagers admired his energy, his ambition, but soon they began to worry. Juma started spending money recklessly, buying things he didn't need, giving gifts to strangers, believing he was rich. He barely ate, barely slept. He interrupted people when they talked, finishing their sentences before they could. His thoughts raced so fast that he would jump from one idea to another without finishing any. People whispered, "Something isn't right." But Juma didn't listen. He felt powerful and unstoppable. Now, mania, which is the high phase of bipolar disorder, can make someone feel overly excited, talk too fast, and act without even thinking. Now, if a loved one shows this sign, encourage them to slow down, eat, rest, and seek help. Now, let's continue the story. But just as quickly as the energy came, it vanished. Like a river drying up in the sun, Juma's excitement faded. One morning, he could not get out of bed. The world felt heavy. His body ached. His heart was tired. This is the same man who once ran through the village with endless energy is now being unable to lift his head. He lost interest in everything he once loved. His friends knocked on his door, but he did not answer. His mother called, but he did not answer. His mother called him for food, but he was not hungry. The man who once talked too much now barely spoke. The villagers were confused. "Why is Juma like this?" they asked. "Wasn't he happy just last week?" But Juma himself could not explain. His mind was drowning in darkness. Now, another thing in this disorder is that depression in bipolar disorder makes people lose energy, interest, and hope. If someone you love is withdrawing, not eating, or feeling hopeless, sit with them, listen to them, and encourage them to seek help. Now, Juma's mother did not understand what was happening to her son, but she knew he needed help. So she visited the village elder, a wise man who had seen many things in his lifetime. She explained Juma's sudden changes, his endless energy, his reckless spending, his sadness. The elder nodded. This is a sickness of the mind, not a curse. He said, take him to a healer, a doctor who understands the mind, which is also known as a psychologist in our present world. Now, bipolar is not a witchcraft, nor is it laziness. It is a medical condition that needs treatment. Seeking help from doctors, counselors, and support groups can make a big difference. Now, Juma's mother took him to a clinic where a kind doctor or a psychologist listened to his story. The doctor explained that Juma had something called bipolar disorder, a condition where moods swing between extreme high and deep lows. With the right treatment, medication, therapy, and lifestyle changes, Juma could live a normal life. Now, managing bipolar disorder takes time. Although medication helps balance the highs and lows, but talking to a therapist or a counselor helps us understand this emotion. Anyway, sleeping regularly and avoiding stress are important. Now, with treatment and support, Juma began to feel better. He learned to manage his energy, to rest when needed, and to speak up when he felt overwhelmed. His friends and family now understood his condition and supported him. The storm within him did not disappear. He learned how to sail through it. So, my people, bipolar disorder is not a life sentence, but with support, understanding, treatment, people can live full, happy lives. So now, if you or someone you know is struggling, please do not be silent. Speak up, seek help. Healing is possible. Have you ever had any encounter? Do you think you know anybody, or you've ever heard a story of people with this bipolar disorder? How did you manage this situation? Please share in the comment section. Thank you.